Good morning. Although I'm about to shatter some illusions here, it would be lovely if Roy or Gary and I got up at 6 o'clock each morning and recorded our thought for the day fresh that morning to go out at 7 o'clock. But I'm going to spoil the surprise. We do actually pre-record our videos. Now, mostly those are in the morning or afternoon, maybe the day before. But you actually joined me tonight in my garden on Sunday evening, just in what has been an absolutely glorious few days of sunshine. And just in the background you can see Scrabble, or if I bring you around this way you will see the lovely sunset in the distance. And it's got me thinking, these past few days of really glorious sunshine has been lovely. Ruth and I have gotten back into our routine of going out for walks, which is so much easier when the weather is nice. But there's one thing that we always have to contend with or think about. Where is the sun? You see, I don't know if you burn easily or not, but it's something I've never had to think about before, really, was kind of keeping in the shade. But now that we have Jemima, and we're really worried about her delicate skin, we have a parasol on her pram for when we're taking her out. And what we spend our whole walk doing is worrying about where the sun is and readjusting the angle of the parasol. And sometimes if you could see us, it would probably entertain you. And we're kind of moving it left, right and centre, moving it all over the place. And poor Jemima's probably looking up thinking, what on earth are these two doing? Just sees this umbrella thing waving about in front of her eyes. But it's important to be in the shade sometimes. We can't always be out in the heat of the day. It's not good for us. And when we are, I hope we're all applying sunscreen. But it got me thinking back to the last children's address that I did before we went into lockdown. We were finishing off our series in Jonah, and we were looking at the very last bit where Jonah has kind of done what he's meant to do, but he's a little bit angry with God, and he's saying, you know, these are awful people. Why did you do it this way? Why did you save them? You told them you were going to destroy them. Basically, Jonah wasn't happy with God and wanted God to do things his way. And they kind of prove the point, and I think there's maybe a little bit of humour in it, although I don't want to imply something that's not there, but I found some humour in it. God takes Jonah out to the countryside, and it's very warm, and so God provides a vine to grow up as a shelter, to give a bit of shade to Jonah in the hot sun. And so Jonah rests underneath it. But God then also provides a worm, and the worm comes and eats the vine, and the vine dies. And again, Jonah is cross with God, but God makes the point, well, I created the vine, so it's mine to do with as I please. And so Jonah really had no right to be cross, because it was by no work of Jonah, it was nothing to do with him that the vine was there in the first place, yet he got cross with God when God took it away, even though it was God's to do with as he pleases. I wonder how we're all feeling as we go into our 11th week of lockdown, and even longer. We've been facing this pandemic situation. Are we fed up with God? Are we at our wits' end? Are we saying, God, why are you doing this? Are we getting upset with him? Or are we maybe taking that step back to say, well, actually, God's in control, and it might look messy at the minute, and we might struggle to comprehend why the things that are happening. But you see, just like Jonah, he couldn't see the big picture. He couldn't see all that was going on. He couldn't see some of the sides and the aspects of God that we maybe can see looking back. And right now there are things happening. God is moving in amazing ways throughout all of this that we maybe don't quite see. And so I think as we go out and we maybe go on our walks, or as we travel to work, or maybe even as the regulations are relaxed and we start to visit others and we're out and about in the sun, which hopefully will last a wee bit longer, let's think about our Creator God, who created all this, who holds this whole world in his hands, and how we can trust in him even in uncertain times.